Oh, hey Jack. Let's have a chat. You had such good intentions with your video. I know you did. And for the first 20 minutes, I was on your side. But now you've poked the bear. As someone who teaches English to teenagers and who writes romance books as a hobby, I want to give you my opinion on the matter of cartoon book covers for romance novels. Point 1. You say it's not the parents' responsibility to check on what their kids are reading. You say they don't have time to flip through every page. Okay, I guess so, yeah. But you know what's crazy? This thing called the internet exists. And if they really cared about the appropriateness of what their kid is reading, put the title into Google. See what comes up. Turns out that takes all of what, like 5 seconds? And then there you go. Stop acting like teens are just these innocent little fools who have accidentally stumbled upon a romance book. They know. Again, I teach teenagers, 16, 17 years old. They know what's in the book. The cover does not matter. Does not matter whatsoever. Okay? They see the book online and they ask their parents for it, probably knowing the parent isn't going to check it out. The parent's probably just honestly happy their child is reading because that's awesome. So, doesn't matter if the cover has like cute little cartoon on it. Doesn't matter if it's just a pretty color with nothing but a title on it. Doesn't matter. They want it. People, a lot of people, adults, teenagers, what have you, find their books on the internet, specifically TikTok and BookTok. Doesn't matter. Again, does not matter what the covers look like. They don't care. They don't care. And again, if a parent really, really cares about what their child is reading, they will do their research first instead of getting mad at authors and publishers and artists for having a cute cover. If parents are that concerned about what their kids are reading and watching, they should really be paying more attention to them. Stop just handing them a phone or an iPad or sticking them in front of the TV and then being suddenly up in arms that their precious angel baby has discovered something that is not age appropriate for them. Teenagers have been finding things they shouldn't for decades. Ever since the internet was created and before then. That's what teenagers do. They're going to find it. Stop being mad at people who put out the material and start taking some ownership of your parenting and what your child is or is not reading or watching. Let me give you an anecdote. I sold a copy of my dark romance novel last fall at a local festival. I sold it to a teenager. And I was hesitant about it because I thought this is probably not appropriate. But then her mom came over. Daughter said, I want that. Mom said, okay, here's the money. Was she confused about what my book was about? No. For one, she said she had read Haunting Adeline. So she is very familiar with the dark romance genre and what it entails. Was she misled by an adorable, cute cartoon cover? I don't know. Was she? Again, doesn't matter. Does not matter. The mom saw this. The mom saw this and paid for it. So if she were to come to me later all concerned, I would probably just laugh. And to your point of the romance cartoon covers, making them look similar to young adult cartoon covers, 2 points. With the exception of Walmart, which kind of just throws their books everywhere in the same aisle, kind of organized chaos, if you will, bookstores and even online, Amazon and whatnot, put the books in these weird things called categories. And they're usually pretty clearly labeled as to what category the book is in. So stop acting like consumers are stupid. I think that's what makes me the maddest about your video. And other people have made this point as well online. Not just you, Jack. You're just kind of the face of the problem at this point to me. People are not this stupid. No one is going out there and going, oh my God, I have no idea what this book is about. I'm not going to read the back of it. I'm not even going to flip to a single page. I'm just going to think, oh, that's a cute cover and I want that cover in my life. If you're reading like that, that is a whole other problem that you have going on. People are not this dumb. Parents are only upset their kids are reading these books after the fact, after someone has confronted them about it. Because then they must realize, oopsie, I messed up. But instead of taking responsibility for their error, it now becomes the artist's problem, the author's problem, the publisher's problem, the bookstore's problem. It's everyone else's problem but theirs. And while I do appreciate your deep dive on the history of romance book covers, and I will admit that was interesting, especially the fact that we've gone from more explicit covers with Fabio on them to more illustrated and discreet covers in modern day. With that said, regardless of a book's cover, if it's popular enough, people know what it's about. Let's look at, for example, 50 Shades of Grey. The cover of that book is literally a grayish background, the title, and a tie. That's it. There is nothing remotely suggestive. There are no cute little cartoon people on it. Nothing. That's it. The cover is very innocuous. You would have no idea what that book was about. So, in that case, it could be confusing and unexpected. However, people were buying the book because of what was inside the book, not because they were misled by a cover. I don't think anyone thought to themselves, oh, hey, this looks like a neat book about gray ties. I can't wait to read this. No. So let's talk about Icebreaker, since that seems to be yours and everyone's favorite book to criticize for its cover. Yes, the characters on the front are very young. They're college aged, not that much older than teenagers who have been picking up the book and reading it. It is cute, and I understand why everyone's using this book cover as their poster child for being anti-cartoon covers on romance novels. I totally get it. However, once again, teenagers know what's in the book. It does not matter what the cover looks like. It could say Icebreaker and have a pair of ice skates on it. They would still want it. They would still read it. I've had just as many students reading that book as I have the Twisted series, which, as you can see, has very bland titles. There's nothing cute on here or suggestive or cartoony or anything to get them confused with young adult books. It's not about the covers. Stop blaming the book covers. People are not being tricked or deceived into buying spicy romance novels because of the covers. That's not happening. They're not buying the book, reading it, and then going, oh God, there was spice in there. That was so unexpected. I didn't look at any part of it except for the cover, and now I am shocked and passing out and angry at society. It's a romance book. You got it in the romance category or the romance section. All romance novels contain some level of intimacy. Open door, closed door, fade to black. It's in there in various forms. As you pointed out at the beginning of your video, with the definition of a romance novel, focusing on the romance between the main characters, it's in there. People who claim shock and surprise at this are lying. Here's a second anecdote to follow up the first with the teenager and her mom. 2 of my books have cartoon covers. The first is this one. The other, I don't have author copies yet because it hasn't come out. I gave a few copies of this book. Look how pretty. I gave a few copies of my book to a local independent bookstore. She sold them all, no problem. Everything was great. Then I went and asked her about doing a signing at her store since the books had done so well. And at first she told me yes, and then she told me no. She didn't want to be seen as that kind of bookstore, which I took quite a bit of offense to. And then she admitted to hiding my books behind the counter and having people have to ask for them. She was worried that someone would pick it up by accident, or they would think it was something for a teenager, or I don't know. Basically, she treated my books as if they were corn magazines and had them behind the counter. Did not appreciate that. She no longer sells my books. That being said, I see videos of people going to Barnes & Noble, and people approach them and they're like, I want to check out with these books. And the person working there is looking at these books, this stack of books, which are clearly spicy romance novels. And the teenager who wants the book is just like blinking innocently, and the parent has no idea. It is not the employee's job to tell the parent, hey, just so you know, these books might be a little inappropriate for your child. It is the parent's job to parent and say, excuse me, you're probably familiar with these books that my child wants to buy. Are they age appropriate? Then the employee could answer the question. If you've ever worked in customer service, you would know giving your own opinion without being asked for it makes people angry. Because they would say, well, I didn't ask you if they were appropriate. I'm the parent. I get to decide that. So there's that. If the parent is concerned, they can ask. They can Google. The teens know what the books are about. I wish everyone would stop acting like they don't. Like they just accidentally picked up Icebreaker and went, oh, this is so pretty. Or they accidentally picked up Haunted Adeline and they were like, oh gosh, I have no idea what's in this book. Please get real. Please. And really, what would you have them do? Do you want some kind of rating placed on books like there is for movies? Do you want some kind of parental advisory sticker like jammed on the front like they do for CDs? Do you think that would stop anyone from buying the books? Do you not remember being a teenager? I was a very good teenager. I never did anything wrong. And yet I still know how to go about getting those things. And I know that putting those stickers on them makes you want them even more than you already did. So sure, let's take a cute cartoon cover, slap an R rating on it. See how many more books you sell that way. Overall, stop pretending you actually care about these supposed deceptive book covers. We know you don't. Everyone who gets up in arms about these covers of romance books is just doing it for the attention, for the clicks, for the views. And good job, it worked. You're getting a lot of views on your video, one of them being mine. And so in response, you get this. I am so tired of the rhetoric against romance books. It has got to stop. If you don't like it, don't read it. If you're a parent and your child wants it, do the research first. Do the research first. And if you don't care, no one else is to blame but you when people come at you and say, I can't believe you let your child read such and such. Because we know that was not the teenager's intention to deceive. There's no deception. They know what it is. They know what they want. It's cute. Let it be, dude. Let it be. This is the third long-form video I've seen in the past month about romance readers and romance novels and how they're just stupid little idiots who don't know anything and are constantly deceived and tricked and made to feel foolish about things they're interested in. In conclusion, because this is getting very long, stop going for low-hanging fruit. Make a video about something original, would you? And last but not least, a final reminder, a reiteration of the thesis statement, if you will. Teenagers aren't stupid. Trust me, I know, I teach them. They use their smarts, sometimes for evil, not so much for good. If they ever say they were tricked because they thought it was a young adult novel, not a romance novel, they are lying to you. Happy reading.